What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So today we have a little bit of a controversial topic to discuss, and that is Lego scalping. Now, I've seen a lot of people talk about this subject, especially with all of the Lego sets that sold out this past Insiders weekend on Lego's website and in stores. I've also been seeing a lot of people get really fired up in the comments section of some of our videos, especially the video that I posted this past Monday where I was discussing all of those sold out sets from Insiders Weekend. So I just wanted to discuss a couple things here. I want to talk about Lego scalping, what it is and what it is not. I also want to talk about what some of these sold out sets from Insiders Weekend are trending for on the secondary market. And I also want to discuss how you can get some of these sets for your collection without potentially paying a ridiculous price on the secondary market. So let's jump into it. The first thing that I want to show you guys is that the Lego Icons modular building, the beautiful boutique hotel, is now officially sold out on Lego's website. So just a heads up there, if you were trying to get the boutique hotel for your collection, you're going to have to look elsewhere at other retailers, perhaps Amazon or Target or Kohl's or something, for the boutique hotel, because it is no longer available on Lego's website. It could still be available at your local Lego store. Just make sure to give them a call before you head on over there to see if they have one in stock before you waste the trip. Now let's talk about scalping. So a lot of people have argued that scalping is not something that you can do with Lego sets. And for the most part, I agree. Lego sets are out long enough. They have a significantly long shelf life, in the neighborhood of 2 to 3 years for most sets, where they're readily available at so many different retailers. It's almost impossible for somebody to buy up enough of them to cause an increase on the secondary market, which would allow scalpers to profit off of community members here in the Lego community or just Lego collectors in general. The Gingerbread AT-AT walker from the Lego Star Wars line, however, is being scalped, and it is a huge problem right now. It is temporarily sold out on Lego's website. It has been for several weeks now. It hasn't even had the opportunity to be on back order. That's how many copies people have been able to order of this set. And I know a lot of people are very upset about this because this is a heavily desired set that a lot of people want to get for their collection or for a loved one as a gift in time for Christmas. And as of right now, that is just not possible. If you go over to eBay and check the secondary market, this thing is selling for nearly double its retail value, with the last one being sold today for $119.95 with free shipping. $120 for a Lego set that is not retiring here in 2025. It is going to be available for the next 2 years, probably more, because I'm sure Lego has taken note of its insane demand, and they're going to keep making copies of this set for likely longer than 2 years, giving most collectors ample opportunity to pick this up for $60. Now, this is incredibly frustrating, especially when you scroll through eBay and you see how many of these are being sold on the secondary market for well over $100, and this set is officially being scalped, and it is a problem. And like I said, I don't know how Lego combats this problem. Clearly people are getting around the quantity limits per account. They're either making more accounts or they're ordering via another means, but this is really unfortunate. And if you are somebody who's been trying to get the Lego Star Wars Gingerbread AT-AT for your collection or in time for Christmas for a family member, I just want to encourage you guys to not buy it at these prices. It will come back in stock, likely after Christmas. Yes, it is a bummer that you won't have it in time for the holidays, but that's just what's going on with this set, and it really sucks. It's not fair to regular people here in the Lego community or regular Lego fans that want to pick up this set. Now, moving on to talking about the sets that sold out from this past weekend, there's been a lot of buzz in the community because people have been noticing that these sets that just sold out for Insiders Weekend are already going for quite a bit on the secondary market. The first one that we have to discuss here is the Lion Knight's Castle. This retailed for $400 down to $320 for Insiders Weekend, and it is selling for right around $500 on average. We had a sale today for $550, another one for $500, another one for $623, another one for $527, $400, $750. I mean, it just keeps going on and on and on. And it's really a shame for those of you guys who missed it or had your orders canceled, which is still just unbelievably unprofessional and really a shame that Lego did that. Moving on, we have the Batman animated series Gotham City Skyline. This was 300 retail down to 225. This one is selling for already over retail price. We've got a sale here for 350, 375, 350, 310, 350, 400. Moving on to the Ninjago City Markets. This one was 370 down to 259. On the aftermarket, selling for 449, 500, 492, 406, 450, 449, 530. Moving on, we have the Disney Castle. This had a $400 retail down to 320. This one's selling for 400, 400, 380, 280, and this is just a complete. This isn't even new in box. We've got 758. Moving on, we've got the Jazz Club. This was 230 down to 184. This one is selling for 280 as of today. We had another new sealed in box for 240, 211, 279 with free shipping. The last one that I wanted to mention here was the Gringotts Wizarding Bank. This was 430 retail down to 344 for Insiders Weekend. This one is selling as of the recording of this video for 440 with free shipping. We've got 405. This one sold for 200, which seems like a little bit of an outlier here, so not sure what's going on with that one. Then we've got 490. So you get the point. These sets are selling for well over their retail price and far over their sale price from Insiders Weekend. And somebody made the comment in Monday's video that scalpers hit Lego Insiders Weekend hard. And at first, I disagreed. I was like, no, there's a lot of people right now who have been waiting for sales on these larger sets, some of which are retiring here in 2025, and that was a majority of the traffic, or an explanation for a majority of the traffic on Lego's website this past Friday night at midnight for Insiders Weekend and all of the sales. But now, seeing all of these sets, and this is just eBay, I'm sure there's more sales on Bricklink and whatnot, and Macari, and maybe Facebook Marketplace, people selling it for cash to other people in person. This is just one selling platform where it is clearly evident people have gone to Lego.com and in stores this past weekend with the intention of buying up as many copies of these sets for those reduced prices, with the double points, with the promos, and then taking them and bringing them to the secondary market once they were sold out and making a hefty profit. This isn't scalping, this is just resellers taking advantage of the little to now no existent supply for a majority of these retiring sets, and there's still an absorbent amount of demand where people want these sets, and it's clear that some people are willing to pay more on the aftermarket for these sets. Now, how do you combat this problem? If you're somebody who wants the Lion Knight's Castle, for example, what do you do in this instance? Well, the first thing that I want to recommend is do not go to eBay and pay these prices, because you're doing exactly what these people want you to do, and that's just putting more money in resellers' pockets, which is just going to allow them to do this time and time again. That's the first thing, and that's hard, especially with what I mentioned, the time that we're in leading up to Christmas, where people want to get these sets either for themselves or for family members. Now, there are other options when it comes to buying Lego sets. We've explored some of those options even here on the channel. I'm a big proponent of Facebook Marketplace, with being, keeping safety in mind, of course, and always shopping around in, areas that with a person that you trust, likely during the day, public places, that being such. There's a lot of good deals to be had on Facebook Marketplace, and I think there's going to be a lot of good deals to be had even on some of these sets that are selling for ridiculous prices, because keep in mind, a set like the Lion Knight's Castle, it's 4,500 pieces. This is taking up a lot of space just for one set. If you look at Ninjago City Markets, this is 6,163 pieces, another large set. Eventually, resellers, if they don't get the price they want, they are going to lower their prices, or they're going to want to get rid of these larger sets come, after the holidays. And it's going to be much easier for them to get rid of them in person through something like Facebook Marketplace, where they're not paying all the fees, they're not worrying about shipping, they can just get some cash in hand and be on their way. Now, will you be able to get Ninjago City Markets from a reseller for $259? Absolutely not. But would you be able to get it for closer to its original retail price come after the holidays, new sealed in box? I think there's a good opportunity there. Another thing that I want to once again bring to everyone's attention is, if you want a Lego set bad enough, don't be afraid to buy it used or an open box, because just because somebody's either built it once or maybe opened it, built a bag or two, and then decided that the set was either too big or it wasn't for them, there's still an opportunity there to get a good deal on that set if you're willing to, you know, get something that's not perfectly new, sealed, and boxed. Because at the end of the day, if you're gonna build a set and enjoy it, who cares if it's sealed, right? As long as you're okay with going that route, I think you will be successful in that aspect as well. So just keep that in mind when it comes to missing out on these sets, as I know there's a lot of people who are very upset right now, and you're probably very frustrated, especially if you had your order canceled, which once again is just not right by any means for LEGO to do that. The last thing that I want to address is something that I've also seen in the comments section of our videos, as well as in other areas of social media, with people pointing fingers at other collectors and calling people lazy or stupid or dumb for not understanding that they should have purchased a LEGO set at full retail prior to it going on sale, with the potential for it selling out very quickly like the Lion Knight's Castle. First off, we shouldn't be pointing fingers at one another and calling each other dumb or lazy just because we didn't buy something when it was available for full retail. LEGO is very expensive here in 2025, and it's likely only going to get more expensive moving into 2026 and beyond. We are all on different budgets. We all have different income streams and amounts that we bring in every single month. So I don't think that's a fair argument and a fair accusation to point at other people. If you were waiting for a sale to pick up the Lion Knight's Castle, for instance, for $320 instead of $400, well, good on you for hoping to save some money. We shouldn't be blaming one another for saying you're stupid because you just should have bought it at full retail before it went on sale. I think there's a lot of people who are very smart right now and trying to be very frugal with their money and get the best discounts possible, especially with an event like Insiders Weekend where you could have got double points on your sets, as well as the promos, Rakuten cash back, credit card points. I mean, you could really maximize your discounts here. So I just wanted to hopefully put another perspective into that argument. So if you are somebody who picks something up and you see somebody else either complaining or frustrated or mad because they didn't get a set on social media, don't berate them, don't blame them, don't bash them for not picking it up at full retail, because that's just not fair, and that's not something that we should be doing to other community members. The final thing that I want to say here is, I think we as a community, if this is something that we are going to be dealing with moving forward into the future, we need to help each other out. And what I mean by that is, if you are in a position to pick up an extra set, maybe when events come around like Insiders Weekend, we've got Black Friday coming up, as well as May 4th, maybe if there's a set that you see retiring, pick it up. Because even if you already have it, maybe there's an opportunity there where we can help out other people here in the community and take that set and allow them to pay you for it at retail or even the price you paid, because that would prevent more sets from ending up on the secondary market immediately after retirement or after a sellout for a higher price. I know that's asking a lot of people, but it's not something that's too far-fetched when you think about it, especially when you have an instance like the Gingerbread AT-AT where it's only $60. Now, picking up an extra copy of the Lion Knight's Castle at $320 so you can help out a buddy, that is a tall ask. But I think if we can start to get into that mindset, we can start to squeeze the scalpers out and squeeze the people who are solely here in this community to just buy up all the inventory and then resell it to good, hardworking LEGO collectors. But that's just my perspective and my take on the situation. I would love to hear all of your thoughts down in the comments section below. Whether you agree with me or disagree with me, that's completely okay. Everybody is entitled to their opinion, and the comments section is where you get to express your opinion. Just please remember to be respectful to everybody else. But with that being said, we got a lot of big stuff coming up. Specifically, we have our Black Friday midnight release live stream happening tomorrow night. We're going to be live starting off at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you're not doing anything, come on over. We had a blast for Insiders Weekend with that live stream, and tomorrow night is sure to be another fun one. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, hit the like button. As always, don't stop shooting until you score, and you can watch more of our LEGO videos on the end screen now.